You've done the hard work training for the mountain bike leg of an off-road triathlon. So why not make sure that mountain bike is ready to go when you come out of the water? Am I right? So by the end of this video, you'll have 6 tips that you can quickly run through on race morning to make sure that you're going to have your best mountain bike leg yet. Hey, it's Eric here with ewjtri, bringing you a new video every week so that your next race will be your best race. So hit that red subscribe button now. Not only will you not miss another video, but you also hopefully won't make the same mistakes that I've made in triathlon along the way. So it's race morning. I know you've got a lot to think about, but you don't want to just rack your mountain bike in transition and head to the swim start. There's 6 simple but really important things that you can do to check off your list to make sure that your bike is ready to go when you come out of the water. Some triathletes like to do a warm-up on their bike. That's a personal decision, and that's great whether you want to or not, but even if you don't want to do that, take your bike out of transition. That's number 1. And even if it's just riding it for a minute or two, you never know in the transport what happens. So just you're running through those final things. So quick brake check, the tires have the right air pressure, shift through every single gear, make sure it's shifting smoothly, and then you can bring it back into transition. Number 2 is putting your bike in the right gear so that when you exit out of transition 2 and mount your bike, that you're in the right kind of gear to, so it's not too difficult, but also not too easy where you're just quickly spinning. So how you determine what gear that is typically is look at where that mount line is. Is it going uphill in grass? Is it on flat pavement? That's going to cause a slight adjustment in what gear you put your bike in. So evaluate that and just make sure that it's in easy gear. If you're not quite sure, head over to that mount line and try a couple times and what gear seems to be best before you actually before you rack your bike back in transition. Number 3 is simply turn your pedal crank to the appropriate spot once it's racked in transition in the right gear as to which foot you place on the pedal first. So for example, I place my left foot on the pedal first, and so I put the crank just slightly up on an angle so that when I get the bike to the mount line, I'm able to step with my left foot down, which pushes pressure, and I'm able to move forward and then start pedaling. So either side is fine, but just put it in the right spot so you're not wasting any seconds trying to get the pedal crank in the right spot so that you can actually push off with your foot. Number 4 is nutrition. Hopefully you know how far the race is and how long you expect to be out there, that you've checked beforehand, but if you've got 1 bottle cage, which is typically a norm, or perhaps 2, make sure your bottle of nutrition is on your bike and ready to go. If you're going to use gels, a great way to do it is just tape them to the frame, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3, just kind of line them up and then you can be able to rip them off. But don't forget your nutrition. You don't want to have your bike set up and leave your nutrition in a bag or in the car. Of course, races should have hydration on the course, so I guess if you did forget, that would be your backup plan, but typically it's not what you practice with, so don't forget that nutrition. Number 5 is your flat kit. Don't forget this. If you get a flat, you're either going to be walking your bike back or not in order to finish or not finishing. And I know you want to finish, and so it doesn't take that long. You can learn how to repair a flat. I'll put a link in the upper corner here, but make sure you've got your 2 tire levers, your spare tube, your CO2 cartridge, and your nozzle, perhaps a multi-tool, but make sure you've got that spare. And the final amateur tip, number 6, is electrical tape. So I use this tape to put the gels on. If you want to do that, if you don't have gels, I actually still put a strip or 2 of this stuff onto the bike frame because you never know what you end up using it for. I actually had a race where a spoke broke during the race and hopped off, used my electrical tape to actually tape 2 of the spokes together, and I was able to finish the race. I also had an instance that wasn't in a race, but in training when there was a pretty big slice in my tire, and so I put the electrical tape on the inside of the tire so that the debris and the rocks from the outside wouldn't directly make contact with the tube until I was able to get home, and I was able to ride it home like that. So there's 6 simple but really important things that will help you start your mountain bike leg and hopefully take you all the way to the finish. And if things go awry, it won't ruin your day, and you'll be able to get to the end of that bike leg and head out for the run and eventually to the finish line. So I hope that video was helpful for you. Put a comment below if there's any other uses you've had for this magical stuff, electrical tape. New video next week, and until then, I will see you on the trails. Hey, it's Eric. Hey, it's Eric with it. So once you've got your, so there's 6, but hey guys, Eric with ewjtri. We are checking this mic check. Let's work together, baby. Let's work together. Hey guys, it's Eric from ewjtri. What up?